Hey guys, welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the DeeTimeLove show, and today you join me for a very interesting review back in the studio. Another independent micro brand review that's been on my radar ever since Watch Pro Salon Live, where I met with a few followers at the time, and I have to say Tsar Bomba did catch my eye as they look like RM Richard Mille Homage watches. They take very much their inspiration from those types of tonneau cases and complications, but they bring them to you at a cost-effective price, and a lot of you guys have been very impressed that purchased them, have been screaming at me to get them on the channel, and hence why they actually reached out to me off the back of a follower recommending that they send me a watch for review. Let's change perspective, let's take a closer look, let's get the unboxing going and get into the nitty-gritty of the Tsar Bomba Atomic series. First of all, I would like to say the packaging is very striking, very well made, good first impression. It comes with like a book case, and you've got the bookcase sleeve. You just remove that, and then you're greeted to a solid box, I have to say, very much like a book presentation. And then you pop the first page open and you're greeted to quick release breakthrough Tsar Bomba quick release breakthrough series watches. And then you get some illustrations there, some images of how the watch is constructed, for example. Let's have a look at the next page. Bear with you guys. And then you're greeted with an image of the actual watch there. Quick release breakthrough. Very nice indeed. And it just shows you a little bit of an illustration of the setup of the watch. You've got a little sleeve to have a look at the watch in more detail. Just pop this bit open for you guys. And there you have it, guys. So look what you get in regards to the packaging here. So you've got two straps. Two fluorine rubber straps, one in white, one in black. The watch has got a carbon bezel and a white one, and you've also got an additional crown there. So let's have a little closer look how this all works. Let's change perspective and let's get the accessories going. Let's get customizing this watch so you can see how it looks, guys. Bear with me. Let's take a closer look at the watch in more detail. Now, let's go through the specifications. Have a look at the dial first of all. And as you can see, this is a skeletonized dial. Let's put my hand at the back there, and you can see how skeletonized it is. And what they've done here, that this watch is hosting the Miyota 8250 movement, which is a real workhorse movement used in a lot of micro brands and independent watch brands, affordable watch brands, I have to say. But what I would say, they've done a really good job in disguising the fact that that movement is round, and they've demonstrated and designed the dial to make it look like the movement has been made to fit this tonneau case. Now, the case diameter is 45 millimeters, not including the crown. Lug to lug, you're looking at just around 50 millimeters, and with a case thickness of just under 14 millimeters. Sapphire crystal as well, clear case back, as you can see there. They've decorated that rotor quite nicely with that Tsar Bomba with the logo. The watch is 100 meters water resistance, stainless steel, sapphire crystal in the front and at the back. As you can see, it says Japanese movement there. But you know, this watch overall with this carbon fiber bezel is very nice, I have to say, and I've done a relatively good job in designing that skeletonized dial. It doesn't look ridiculous like some other Homage alternatives of RMs that I've seen. They've done it pretty much to the best of their ability to hide the fact that that myotive movement isn't anything special by adding those bridges there. Yeah, it's not too bad at all, I have to say, in initial first impressions. But what is its major party trick? So where it says Tsar Bomba there, you hold that down and you're able to remove the bezel with relative ease. Within a second or two, the bezel is off. Now let's replace it with the interchangeable other bezel that's provided as part of this package. You click it down, and there you have it, guys. It's in white, so, and it totally transforms the look of the watch, I have to say. Look how it looks cool. I mean, if you're into these types of watches, the color combo is very good indeed. The white and black. Now, to remove the crown, you've got the Tsar Bomba actual engraving there on the actual crown itself. You hold it down and then you just unscrew it like that and it should come off. Bear with me. It's not as fast as the interchangeable bezel to remove. There you go. And you can remove that within 5 or 6 seconds. And you've got the other crown there that you can match up to the bezel. Very, very nice indeed. So let's put that back on for you guys so you can see what it's all about. So relatively easy to use, guys, for sure. Very easy to use. Yeah, you know, it's a workhorse of a movement. Very well done, and I can see why people enjoy these watches, because you can buy accessory packs from Tsar Bomba. There is another version of this where you can get similar watch but with more interchangeable bezels with a variety of straps. This one comes in at just under £1,100 sterling for 2025, and I've also managed to negotiate a 10% discount. I'll leave a link in the description, so if this does take your fancy, you can check that out in the description. So just let's get the actual strap on. There you go, look at that. That's so cool. Very easy. So if you want to release it, just hold it down and you can release the actual strap with relative ease. These floral straps are actually very good quality. Here we go, so just slot it in, clicks in with relative ease, and then you've got a really cool looking watch. So if you don't quite fancy the white today, you can go black carbon. Hold it down and you can replace it with relative ease. How cool is this, guys? There you go. Now you've got that all carbon look, and if you want to change out the strap, you can get it on the white very easily indeed. So what are my initial impressions? Well, I have to say it's a cool watch, that's for sure. It's a very cool watch, I have to say, in terms of what you get, in terms of the package. It's I can see why a lot of my guys like them. Yeah, this is the old chestnut. The other issue that you've got with this, it very much is a homage watch of an RM, so it's always going to have that little bit of stigma to that. However, there are people that don't really know what RM are, and will look at this and just think, wow, that is one hell of an expensive watch. I just associate this style of watch with, you know, a huge amount of money. So it does give off that vibe of extremely expensive, high complication, but it's not cheap either. You know, around £1,000. There are quite a few good watches out there that you can buy that have maybe higher complications and so on. However, I think as a whole package, Tsar Bomba have put something together that I think I can see the appeal and why it pleases a lot of wrists out there, because you've got two interchangeable bezels, and believe me, just by changing the strap and the bezel, it totally changed the vibe and aesthetic and look of the watch. So you get a very cool design, and if you like these types of watches, I think this is an absolute fantastic deal. Very well made, I have to say, with 100 meters water resistance. Let's get the watch on my wrist and get some loom shots for you guys to see the watch in more detail. Well, the watch wears very well on my wrist, I have to say. Yeah, they normally do, you know, even though it wears quite thick, and because of that torno case, it just wraps around the wrist. Let's have a look at the loom. And there you have it, guys, Swiss Luminova. Nothing spectacular, the loom, but it does the job, I would say. We're not in total darkness here in the studio, filming during the day, and still got some light filtering through the blinds, but you get the drift, and it hangs around for quite long, to be fair, with this carbon fiber bezel. Let's get the lights on and just recap on everything for you guys. So I just want to show you guys a comparison. So this is what it looks like with the carbon fiber and black fluoride strap. Very nice indeed. Let's just swap this out now for the actual white bezel and white strap as well, so you can see the difference, guys. Bear with me. And in white, it totally transforms the watch. Look at this in all white, ready for your summer vacation. Very, very cool indeed. I hope you liked today's video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.